Okay, so I'm gonna start off by talking about the original piece, which is this one that I'm showing on the screen. It is of the character Happy Chaos from Guilty Gear Strive. I'm not entirely sure if he was in the earlier Strives, or not Strives, earlier Guilty Gears, since it's been a while since I've played and like went through all the original Guilty Gears. But when he came out in Strive, I was like, wow, he's pretty cool. I think I might kind of actually love him. I Now I don't really like him that much just because, like I'm a diehard Ava stan. I don't care. And even before, okay, yo, like I day one Ava lover, but no, I liked Happy Chaos, and I still think he's very cool and interesting, and I love his design and everything about him is just very like. So I made the original piece just kind of to like, I guess, I don't know the word. I was going through a phase where I was like, my art is boring. I want to be weird. But I was not. I don't think I really succeeded in that, especially with the original piece, because it's kind of tame. It's not, it's tame. It's not what I want it to be. And I understand some people might be like, oh, don't beat yourself up. It's still really good. And I appreciate that. I agree. It's not like the worst drawing ever made or anything. Like, I don't think that of it. But I guess I just kind of had set the bar a little bit higher than usual. So when it didn't come out how I wanted, I was like, well, that's that. Calling it a day. And I really did, because I stopped drawing after that for a long time. And I was kind of like a stumper. And I just decided that I was going to take a break from drawing and just get back on my grind, which was the 9 to 5. And now that I'm back on my grind, I'm like, wow, I kind of miss drawing a lot. So, whoops. But it's okay. Because now that I found a good balance, I think I'll be able to do more stuff like this. So, yay. But with this original piece, I decided that I wanted to expand it and make it more dramatic. Specifically the like camera flash effect, which you can see like with my reference pictures, which are the sister from Resident Evil 8. I don't remember where in the original game this pictures came from because I got them off Pinterest. Because let me tell you, it was a manhunt to find anything that looked like what I wanted. I know y'all are probably gonna be like, but I found like 8 resources that looked exactly like this. I'm like, y'all don't understand. My way of looking for stuff is probably really bad because I'll just kind of type in like a vague sentence describing it, like I'm trying to find an AI search engine, which already in itself is kind of bad because I am literally like, I don't know, I'm tech savvy. Like I feel like I should know what to do when I want to find something, and usually I can find what I need. But for some reason, this particular effect was just evading me. Like I could not find anything that looked like this. I found a couple pieces from artists I liked that did it, but I was like, I need something specifically like face on, since most of my references were kind of like they were in like the horror genre, so it was like a creature from the side or like the back view. So I was like, okay, this helps, but this is not entirely what I'm looking for. So knowing my luck, I get on Pinterest and I'm just kind of looking and I'm like, whatever, I'll just do something else because I was like, I have so much need to do. And then lo and behold, these images show up on my page and I was like, oh my goodness, where have you been all my life? So it was perfect timing because I had not started this sketch yet. So when I found them, I was like, oh my gosh. So I saved them and I pasted them into this canvas when it was still empty, and then I was like, I'm gonna come back to it. I came back to it, and that's when I started doing the like original concept sketches I have. If I can show them on the screen here. I think I originally was gonna do 4 versions, but then I only did the 2, and then I really liked the one I did, so I was like, perfect, good enough. I'm gonna keep going with it. And looking back on it, I wish I did more because I know I probably said it like 100 times by now if the editing's still the way it is. I don't like the final piece. I know. I mean, I've probably said that before about a lot of my art, but like, I actually really don't like this one. But I was so determined to make this video about it because I was like, I need to get my foot back in the door. Okay, I am a YouTuber. I'm an artist. I gotta do it. I don't care. And I know some people will probably be like, that's a bad mindset. You know, you should post what makes you happy. And I'm like, this is making me happy because I like doing this type of, I'm not gonna call it content, but I guess content, you know? Mostly like talking about my art and like certain, I won't say taboo, but I guess certain like topics of art a lot of people might not want to talk about. I mean, I've seen videos like this where it's like talking about why making bad art is good and like making mistakes and why it's important. Like that stuff matters, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. But I'm also wanting to talk about like why I kept going with this piece, because I was like, I need to just draw something. I don't care if I hate it. I don't care if I love it. I mean, I'll be glad if I love it, and I won't be entirely upset if I hate it either. But I was like, I just need to draw. Mostly because I've been in like a hole of sorts. I know some people call it art block. Some people might say I'm burnt out, which I mean, really is probably like both things. But I was just so like, I needed to draw. Like, I was like foaming at the mouth, crawling on the walls. Like, I need to do it. I need to do something. So I did this. And the reason I chose the original drawing at first, because at first I had like 3 other things I was gonna do, because my Discord server, hi everyone, had voted, well, a specific group, the boosters, okay, that's what I call them, voted on redrawing old art for my next video. And my original piece I had was of an old like Ghostface OC, sorry. And I didn't hate it, but I wasn't really going anywhere with it because the original drawing was kind of like boring. And I know people be like, why don't you just change it to be interesting? And it's like, I could do that, but it was boring in the sense of like, I can't find anything to do with it. So I was like, I'll come back to it. But this was like 3 months ago. Like, I did not go back because, again, the 9 to 5 grind and finding a balance between like real life and drawing and videos was very hard for me. So I'm like pushing myself at this point. I'm like, I'm gonna do this no matter what. So that kind of circles back to the whole I'm gonna do this whether I hate it or love it. But I guess I'm gonna try and talk about more why I don't like the piece and what I feel like I could have done better and why I feel like it's important that everyone does it. So I'm gonna start there. Okay, so I guess my first big topic for this video is like why I felt like I needed to push through this and just keep doing it no matter what I felt. And the reason why is because I feel like, you know, failure is a key to success. Whoa, I know. So original. I should win a prize for that one. But I mean, it's always kind of been a motto in my head that like I'm gonna make bad, quote unquote, bad art no matter what. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, nothing would be good if we don't know what's bad. So I decided that I was like, I know it's not good to go into like a mindset of negativity when starting something, but it was kind of like, I guess, like swallowing the pill just to get it over with. I already knew just from this I was not gonna like the piece. I know it's sad. It's like, what? You should love your art. I mean, it's true. Everyone should love their art, which is why, again, I feel like it's important that you should make bad art so you know what you like and don't like. Like I am right now. I know I don't like this piece because X, Y, and Z, which is what I'm going to go into later, since right now, what you see on the screen is the first version of this drawing, which is kind of like more like rougher, sketchier version of it, because I was like, I was still in like the honeymoon phase. I was like, I love this. It's gonna turn out better than I probably expect. And I wanted to do more loose art or line art, which is why in the bottom left I have my current commission I'm working on, because I really like the line art for it. And I wanted to try and like put this into the current piece, but I go back and end up doing my usual line art because I was like, maybe I'll like it better if I do this instead of that. Because I mean, even after this point, I didn't really like it, but I still wanted to see it through because I was determined to like prove to myself that what I'm doing isn't bad. It's I know I'm probably talking in circles, but my main point again with the video is to just show myself being I'm not gonna say failed, but not like the sunshine and rainbows I probably usually put into a video where I'm like, it's great, I love it, yay! Because I know a lot of YouTubers do that. I know a lot of YouTubers also talk about, okay, I'm gonna say artists because they're artists before they're YouTubers to me, but a lot of artists talk about it and say the same things where they're like, don't use me as an example of always being perfect because I also make not so great art. And it's true. Like, I mean, I know some people probably see me in my art and think I'll never make anything bad. And it's like, I appreciate that. I take that as a compliment because if you think all my art is perfect and nothing I'm making is bad, I won. Like, that's great. Because to me, a lot of my pieces I don't necessarily like, but it's like I also don't hate them. But with this one, it's more dramatic how I feel about it than I probably usually would. So, yeah, right now, I took a break from recording and then I came back to it and I was like, I'm gonna just do a fresh restart. So I put on some long podcasts and I just started going at it, just mindlessly doing line art. And I was timing it because I know I have like a. Some people have told me I draw faster than most. So I was kind of like trying to get a grasp on exactly what I'm doing that makes it so quick. And I think a lot of it is the mindlessly doing it part. Like this whole head and like hair only took me 20 minutes, which to some people was like mind blowing. And then some people is also like probably normal. I don't know. Some artists I know take like hours to do certain stuff, and that's not a bad thing. Like, I personally feel like I should take more time because, again, like how I feel about this drawing, it's not the best quality, and it's probably because I don't take time to like do what I want to. So, again, I decided to redo the line art, which is what I'm doing right now, and this is the style most people probably know me for. Is like the not rough, what's the word? Like edgy, kind of more thick line art. Because thanks to my beautiful, amazing, awesome line art pen marker, which is also in the description because a lot of people ask for it, I think everyone should use it. But I decided to just do that and just kind of turn my brain off and draw. And I actually like this part. I don't hate this yet. I don't hate it at all, really, but being dramatic. I don't I think it kind of all started going downhill like right now because I personally don't feel like I draw faces very well, at least the way I want to draw them. So again, that's something I need to work on. But once I started working on his face, I was kind of like, oh, this is going where I think it's going. Because I was like, I redrew these glasses. I don't show it because I was kind of like, I hate it. But I redrew these glasses so much in the mouth too. Like even later on in like the rendering process, you're gonna see me probably redraw it or like fix it like 10 times because I don't like how I do faces. I really don't. I'm currently working on it. Like I kind of getting to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm not upset with it, but it's not entirely what I want. And the same with his body. I've been doing a lot of anatomy studies and like a lot of like how to stylize certain proportions. So I actually think this part, like the way it looks right now, I think it's great. I like it. And honestly, I kind of wish I could go back. I guess I could because I still have it separated, but I would go back and just kind of from here either redo it or just kind of change up the pose a little bit. I just wish I was more loose about it because I was very like stick to the script kind of with it. I mean, this is different. I've been wanting to draw hair just more crazy, so I went back and added like certain strands and made it look more messy because in game he's messy. Like he probably smells like trash. I'm serious, but I wanted to try and translate that more into this piece. So I was like, make him look disheveled. That's the word, disheveled. And I kind of feel like I succeeded. Okay, I actually really like the hair here. I think it came out very nice. But overall, I also kind of think it doesn't fit because even later on when I'm like shading and coloring it, it kind of looks different in my opinion from the rest of the piece, so it kind of looks weird. I'm gotta think of something else to call it because I keep saying piece, but you know, I think after this point again is when I start kind of going downhill. The jacket, I should have just looked up a reference because at this point I was kind of going off memory of what he looked like because he's not simple, but I had his like most prominent features already down, so I kind of was like, I know what he looks like. And guess what? I forgot some stuff. Whoa, I know. Use references. It's me. I'm stubborn. But after this point, again, the jacket, the belt and the pants I like because I don't usually draw jeans and stuff like that. I mean, I do, but not this detail. So I was kind of proud of myself for this one. Pat my back. But everything else, I was like, I should have looked up a reference because references matter. They are important. I think everyone should use them. But don't be like me and just be stubborn. So yeah. I also, again, his torso, I don't know. If there's something about it I don't like. I don't know if it's how I ended up coloring it or if this is just how it came out in general. I don't know. Like, this is another part of why I think making quote unquote bad art is good because you have moments like this where you're like, you can tell something's off. And that's a good thing. That shows that you've improved and learned enough to be able to tell when something you're doing is wrong. But then at that point, like me, it's up to me to decide, how to fix it. And I could have fixed it by looking up references or maybe redrawing it completely or just expanding on it more, but I didn't. And that's on me. I chose not to, fix it how I want, and that's okay. Because again, I was like, I already don't like it, but I want to go through with it because I want to have a piece of art I can look at and be like, okay, I know what I did and I'm gonna fix it in my future artwork. So at this point, I think it's kind of when I started like falling deeper into the mindset of with it. I mean, I like it still, but I just really don't. I don't know. This whole vibe is not what I wanted it to be because I wanted it to be very, I guess, kind of creepy almost, and I feel like I didn't really succeed in that. Like right now, I thought maybe I should format it like the original piece where it's kind of just like his chest up, but then I was like, but I really like the whole torso up part more. So it turned into just kind of me sucking it up and going through with it. So I kind of just was like, whatever, I'll figure it out when I get there. I did not figure it out when I get there, by the way, but, live and learn. So I lived and learned with the situation because I, I'm not sure if there's much I could do with it now. Like, I could just redraw it completely, but I mean, in the end, you'll see me kind of like try to redraw certain parts of it and kind of change how I color it, but nothing about the piece as it is now is really in any way what I wanted it to be. Because again, with like the photo effect, I want it to be very dramatic. I wanted the colors to pop. I wanted him to be creepy. I wanted him to just look like you don't want to be in an alleyway with him. That was the vibe. But I don't think I really succeeded. And again, it's not really the quality of the art itself. It's just it's like, I don't know the word. Maybe it's the vibe. I'll say that. The vibe of it isn't what I wanted. So that was really my whole gripe with this piece was that I was just like, man, I just can't seem to get what I want. And you know what? That's okay. You know what? That's okay. Because I learned from this piece. I learned that I should be more comfortable with taking my time and being able to go back to the beginning. Like, it's okay to restart. It's okay to not like what you're doing and just start over. And I know there's some people, like people on my server have said that they like it and they think it's good. And I'm not gonna argue and be like, oh, it's so bad. You know, I'm not gonna be that person. But it really was just a matter of, like, I guess it's like when you know you have better, like, you know you can do better, and then you don't do better, so it's like, well, nah, what can I do? Like, I mean, I failed, quote unquote, but it is what it is. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I failed. And maybe not failed in the sense of like, just stopped the drawing altogether and quit and just dropped it all. But failed in the sense of this isn't what I wanted it to be, and that's okay. You know, everyone does it once, twice, 100 times maybe. I mean, that's normal. And I need to accept that I'm gonna do that sometimes. Like, I gotta get over the mindset that everything I do has to be perfect, quote unquote. Because, I mean, I will. Like, being perfect isn't fun. It's satisfying maybe, but after a while it's kind of like, well, now what? Because now you're like, how do you get better than perfect? So I think that the fact that this piece isn't 100% to me is a good thing, because now I have like a motive again to be like, well, the last piece didn't come out great, I'm gonna make sure this one does. And that's what I'm gonna do. My next piece, I'm gonna make sure comes out exactly how I want it to. Maybe not 100%, but at least 90% of what I want. And again, I mean, my message of this video is not to be like, oh, everyone needs to make bad art and everyone needs to fail. It's more like, if you end up failing in your eyes, or whatever you're doing is not what you want it to be, that's okay. Like, I mean, everyone has to fail in order to know what success feels like. That's the truth. And so I was like, near the end, like right here, is when I was officially kind of over it. And I was like, well, I've made it this far, I gotta just stick with it. And a part of it also was rushing to make the video because, again, I work, so it's kind of hard to find time in between life and everything to do this stuff, but I'm glad I got to do it. And I know some people probably will think this video sucks and it's kind of boring because it's just kind of me rambling over it, being like, oh, boo-hoo, it didn't come out great, but that's okay. Which, again, is a message I know has been said over and over. I'm not expecting myself to be the next, like, messiah on this, but I just feel like I needed to put it out there that, like, my art can not always be exactly what I want it to be, and that's okay. You know, whatever. I did it. And my next piece, like I said, is gonna be better to me, and I think it really will be better because the bar is high, and if it's not, then you're not really reaching for anything. So here I am. I know I've been rambling, and I know some of you guys are probably gonna be like, this was interesting. Okay. Whatever, you know. And yeah, it's okay. But I really just wanted to make a video to remind people that, like, hey, I'm here, I'm alive. Sorry, I never post. I'm silly. I'm so silly. Hee. I will give myself credit. I do kind of like how I rendered it a little bit, but it's still not 100% what I wanted, and that's okay. I mean, the last 5 minutes is me trying to fix it like 100 times and just being like, it is what it is, because it is what it is. So, that's all I got. Thank you again, everyone, for watching, and hopefully my next video will be more positive, entertaining, and not just me kind of falling in a puddle of tears and talking about whatever I'm talking about, because I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, because I'm just kind of talking to myself in an empty room, hoping it's somewhat coherent to y'all. But again, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye!